this is Grandpa 59, and I am going to be showing you how I do my fodder system. First of all, we use barley for our fodder, and we buy it from the grain mill at about $14 for 50 pounds. We use 4 pounds of barley per day, and we're doing an experiment to see how much we can get. We've been doing this experiment since May the 13th, and today is June the 8th, and we have been doing really well with it. The fodder that we do, we start with day 1, day 2, day 3 in a 5-gallon bucket. So the first thing we do is we take day 3's fodder, and it's in a 5-gallon paint strainer, so it's easier to rinse out. And we take about half of that and we dump it in a container that is 23.5 by 16 7/8 by 5 7/8 tall. Like I said, we dump about half of it in one container and then the other half in the other container, trying to shake out as much of the barley seeds that has stuck on the paint strainer as we can. And we pick off the ones that we can. After we get what we can get off, we take and rinse the paint strainer and try to get it all out as much as possible. After we do that, we take the day 1 bucket, set it to the side, take the day 2 bucket, put it in the sink and just rinse it out. And set it aside. Take the bucket, set that to the side. Take the day 1 bucket with paint strainer, barley, and rinse it out. And set it aside. Now we take the paint strainer that we've used for the day 3 barley, put it back in the bucket with no holes. The day 2 and the day 3 buckets have holes in the bottom of them. I will show you that. They have holes in the bottom to let the water drain out. Now you take the 4 pounds of barley and pour it in and fill a gallon container with water and 1 capful of bleach. The reason I use bleach is because if you don't use the bleach, I have found that you end up with mold in your fodder, and you don't want mold in your fodder. I usually use about 1.5 gallons of water. Then take your hand and just kind of whisk it around to get all of this barley to settle to the bottom. Once you've done that, take a strainer and just clean the barley drippings out of the container. After you've done that, take 2 bucket tops that you've cut off to space the day 2 and day 3 buckets so they don't get down into the water of the first day. Take your day 2 bucket, put it on top. Take your day 2 barley, set it in. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. Take your day 3, which is now your day 3. Put that in. And cover it with a towel so it's dark, and put it aside. Take your fodder that's in your containers and just spread them out so it's even. So half of it is in one container and half of it is in the other container. I put a little bit too much in here, so I'm going to put a little bit more over here. And you want about 2 pounds of the grass, of the barley seed in the container for, which is your day 3. And that you take down to the other part of the... I found for this part of my fodder system to put it actually in my shower downstairs, and I built a shelf system for the buckets. I use 2 buckets per day. And this is how it works. It actually has a timer on it that goes to a valve and automatically drips into the top bucket, which the water drains to the front side, which there is 7 holes in each bucket, and it drains down to each bucket, and it ends with the day 3 buckets. The day 7 or day 8 buckets, actually I have a day 8 bucket that I actually feed to llamas, cattle, beefaloes, llamas, and chickens, and they really, really love it. The 4 pounds of fodder that the barley seed that I put in here actually grows to be about 28 to 32 pounds of barley grass that we feed the animals, and they really love it. What I do is I take the top one and put it in a 5-gallon bucket, put both of them in a 5-gallon bucket. Then I move each one of them up to the next day, and then I put the day 3 in the bottom bucket. Just to show you again, my day 8, my day 7, my day 6, my day 5, my day 4, and day 3 will go in tonight. I wanted to show you how my fodder system works. If you push manual, it comes on. It's only on for 3 minutes. As you can see, it starts dripping down. And it goes down to the back. Starts draining down the backside, and it'll come down go down to day 3. And then it finally goes to the bottom where it goes down the drain. By the time the bottom is draining, the top is ready to turn off. We are getting, like I said, about 28 to 32 pounds of fodder from 4 pounds of barley. This works really good, except for one thing. I've used PVC as the shelves. This cost quite a bit of money. It would be a whole lot better to use the metal shelves that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot. I have also done an electric or an automatic drip system to make it easier to water it twice a day. It comes on at 10:30 at night and at 10:30 in the morning. I turn the light off as soon as I finish the rinsing for the night, and I turn it on about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Another thing, I have a temperature gauge in here, and right now it is 74 degrees in here, and the minimum was 72. I have noticed that when it gets below 68, it doesn't grow as good. I have never got it above 75, so I don't know how much better it will grow if it's above that. Barley that we use is Fodder barley that we buy from the grain mill. It comes in 50-pound bags, and it's about $14 per bag at our grain mill. The first day, what we do is we soak our barley. This is actually the third day, the second day, and the first day. So what we do 12 hours after we soak our barley, we take and rinse the fodder in the sink. So we take this, turn it on, and we rinse it in cold water. And we just move it around and rinse it very well. Okay, after we've rinsed that one, we take this one, set it to the side, take the bucket off the third day, and grab the barley from the second day and rinse that. Do the same thing. When you first feel the barley underneath, you feel that it's very warm, and you want to get it rinsed very well. Okay, and we move for the second day, and we have 2 cut barrels that we just use as spacers for the first day, which have been soaking for 12 hours. Use a 5-gallon paint strainer for the barley that you put in for the first day. Let it drain out really well, and rinse this the same way. You need to make sure to remember which day is which so you don't mess them up. Looks like I have something in here that I need to get rid of. I'll just set that aside. Make sure you rinse it out really good. Turn the water off. What you're rinsing it in is make sure you pour this out. And then rinse out your bucket. After you've rinsed that, you want to make sure and rinse your first day again, because the water that you poured out actually was put back in with the water. You want to get that mostly out. It's not important to get it all, but it's important to get most of it. Let this not completely drain, but mostly drain out. And that is the first day of your fodder. And you get your bucket. Take your second day of fodder, put that in. Put your bucket in. Take your third day. It should be pretty much rinsed out. Put that in. And that is, well, that is my fodder system. And if you've watched my other videos, you've seen that I am making a pig pen with a friend of mine, and he is the one that has the animals that is eating the fodder. The first day that we gave them the fodder, they kind of balked at it and they didn't eat it very well. The chickens went for it crazy really fast, but the cows and the llama really balked at it for the first day. But after the first day, about 2 days into it, the friend of mine told me that when he would come to feed the animals, they would just stay where they were at. And after they saw him carrying the bucket with the fodder in it, they would rush over and almost pull the fodder out of the bucket. So it's really, really good for them. I watched a YouTube video that said that if you just feed your animals the barley seed, they get about 20% of the nutrition from the barley seed, but if you feed them the fodder, they get between 85 to 90% of the nutrition out of that. My friend is wondering if this is going to work really well for him this winter with him feeding his animals with grass for the summer. It's not doing much to help his feed, but this winter when he has to buy hay at the price of hay is right now, it should save him a lot of money. 4 pounds of fodder barley will make between 28 to 32 pounds of fodder depending on how well it grows that day. So I hope you like this video, and I hope that it helps you, especially in the wintertime when you're trying to feed your animals with not being able to use the summertime meals. If you like this video, please subscribe and do thumbs up for me because it helps me. And please give me suggestions and comments because I need all the comments and suggestions I can get. Thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day, and God bless.